How's it going? Can you see me?
I can see you, yeah.
I cannot see you.
I didn't know this was going to be a video chat.
Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Audio's cool too, which is probably better because I look like crap right now, so.
Okay. Yeah, I look like a garbage bag, so.
Thank you. Make me feel better.
Wait, no, not you don't look like a garbage bag. I look like a garbage bag.
I know, but you saying that you look like a garbage bag makes me feel better about myself feeling like I look like a garbage bag.
Okay, well,
You
don't
feel?
look like a garbage bag because I can see you, so.
Gracias. Okay, so you wanted to record me as well for your Patreon? So what is that?
I don't really know what the fuck Patreon is, but basically it's like a service. Basically, people can like pay money and you release content to them.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your podcast. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I mean, I have enough problems, so may as well share.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not expecting you to like bare your soul to me. I don't know. I just felt like recording it.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. No problem at all. Okay, so you're my first interview, and I'm actually pretty nervous.
You're nervous?
I am, yeah. I mean, I've done like mock ones in class and whatnot, but it's been like documentaries and podcasts that actually inspired me to get into the field of journalism myself.
Okay.
Is because I've gained a lot from them, and I've seen how they can actually benefit people.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to know was, what was your motivation for this podcast?
Yeah. Okay, so, well, I mean, basically it's the same story for me. Sorry, I'm just give me a second here.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I have a very strange life right now, so I'm trying to make things work. Okay, so I started the podcast because basically I had been listening to podcasts for a few years at that point. I guess 2.5 years ago when I started it, and I don't know, like I suffer a lot, mental health wise, and
Yes.
it was kind of in a transitional phase when I started listening to them, where I was like starting to like talk about my issues, and to hear other people talking about their issues was like groundbreaking for me.
Right.
But the reason I started feeling weird was because I guess I was tired of listening to like the voices I was hearing weren't quite what I wanted to hear. Like it's like if all the content is like good, but it's like not quite what you're after.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was, and I just felt like I'm just gonna make my own podcast. Like, why not? I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, I'm going to try. And so I recorded it with my friend, the first episode, and we had no idea what we were doing, but I don't know, it worked out.
I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, some of your podcasts are pretty interesting. There is that one I just listened to. It was on anal sex, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I was at the gym, and I was like, I was like listening and like looking at the people. I was like, yeah, like anal sex, what's up? And I realized like, holy crap, this is like a really weird podcast, but I like it. And I think that's probably like what, the kind of people you're attracting. It's sort of like a niche crowd, and I am part of that. And I think a lot of people are part of that. And it's hard to feel like you're stuck in such a place in the world where you feel weird about everything. And you break down those walls.
Yeah.
So it's much appreciated. And so where are you in terms of your mental health right now? I mean, I know it's a constant struggle for most people.
Well, yeah, okay, so today is a particularly horrible day.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I've been really, really struggling with depression the last couple weeks, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I like, honestly, you've caught me at a really funny time, because like I'm honestly like considering like not doing the podcast anymore, because I'm so burnt out, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm just like in such a state where I kind of need to take care of myself, but I also don't really know how to. So I don't know. I just feel like lost and confused and overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
So my mental health, where's that at? It's pretty bad right now. I just got out of bed today, so yesterday I didn't leave the house.
Well, it happens.
It's a struggle.
It is. It's a struggle, and it doesn't stop, it seems. I get where you're coming from. Absolutely. So, what was I going to ask you? It was something about, oh, yes. So, what pronoun do you prefer to be addressed as?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I feel my whole life is a transition. Honestly, whatever you want. I was pretty staunchly into they, them for a long time, but I don't know. I don't really care.
Okay. That's cool. I know some people, they don't care at all. They actually just stick with he or she, whatever they were born with or whatever they were used to growing up. Just because they don't feel like changing it, but then other people are pretty stingent.
Yeah, I respect that, and I was that way for a long time, and it really, like, it still bugs me when sometimes when people refer to me as he, it, like, stings a little bit, but...
Hello? Oh, I can't hear you. Hey.
Sorry.
Oh,
I don't know what
worries.
happened. It's never done that before.
Being all Skypey.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I forget where we were.
Pronouns.
Pronouns, yes, pronouns. So you're pretty okay with whatever. So I assume I'll just go with they, them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sweet. So now here you are, and what? I think you were a musician before. Is that correct, or are you still making music?
I don't know what I am. Yeah, kind of. I don't know if I'm really a musician, but I make music.
I would say you're a musician. I mean, identity is such a struggle I know, like,
Yes.
in my daily life, I'm like, I am not a hiker. Why am I going for this hike? And then I'm like, no, like, I'm just doing this because I think it's good.
Yeah.
You don't have to always
Yeah, no.
identify yourself with something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think this morning I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start making more music and doing less podcast stuff, and like maybe that'll help my brain a little bit because I haven't made music for a little while. So I don't know. Maybe I feel like it's a really good outlet for me. I
Yeah.
have it. Yeah.
And with this, do you feel like you're sort of more helping people? Being sort of like a therapist for others, or do you feel that it's therapeutic for yourself as well?
I mean, it's definitely therapeutic for me as well. It is, but it's also just like so stressful, and it does feel like I am a free therapist for people.
I mean, that must be difficult with donations and such, like having to solicit them, feeling like, oh, like I'm not trying to ask for your money, but I need to fund this
Yeah,
in one way or another.
I mean, for the first 2 years, it was not about money at all. It was just like, yeah, I'm just doing this because I like it. And then now it's just been, I put enough energy into it that I'm like, and I have a lot of people messaging me, telling me how helpful the podcast was, and like that's awesome to hear. But at the same time, it's like, okay, can you support me too? Like,
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I'm not asking for a lot, but like, if you can't give me $1, but you can like go buy a coffee, that, I don't know. I'm confused.
I completely get where you're coming from with that. Because you've helped me a lot as well, which is why I emailed you in the first place. And I was listening to you for free. Obviously, I haven't donated yet, but I will. And I want to.
I'm not trying to guilt trip.
No, I'm not feeling guilt tripped
I
at
get it.
all.
Life is weird, and there's costs everywhere. But like, for myself, it's just, I'm at a point where I'm not feeling like I'm appreciated.
Absolutely. And if this is something that you're doing full time, which I'm sure it is, then you should be.
It's
paid.
not full time. Like, that's the thing. It's like, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's the problem. Is like, I wish that I could be getting. Like, I wish that I didn't have to have a job and I could just do this, but I like don't make money off it, so it's not possible.
Yeah. You don't make anything off of it.
Well, with the Patreon, so I've had it for like 3 months, so now maybe I make like $100 a month, maybe.
Oh, okay. That's, yeah. Considering, yeah. I mean, I know you say it's not a full-time job, but I can imagine the amount of work that you do put into this.
It is a lot of work. And,
yeah.
And I like, I don't know, I don't want to sound like a whiny baby, because I do get a lot out of this. Like, it does give me meaning and purpose, but at the same time, it also is just like, I don't know, like, existentially, I just, like, I don't know why. Like, why do I do this? Why do I do this? Because it's, like, not necessarily always that healthy for me to, like, bare my soul to strangers.
Of course.
It's really, like, it's exhausting, and it's hard to be that vulnerable. And I don't know, I'm just kind of, like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Sorry, this is a depressing interview.
No, I expected it to be, which is why I'm interested. It's why I'm interested. Yeah, because that is something that I have always praised you on, and other people who have similar podcasts and documentaries or whatever, is that they can actually put themselves in that vulnerable position and completely expose themselves. And it feels like, how could you possibly do that? Like, you put yourself out there in order to help people like me, and then I think I couldn't do that. But yet here you are, and you're doing it, and you struggle with your mental health, and so do the people who are listening. But you're doing this, and that's incredible. Like, that, I don't know how you found that within yourself, but props to you.
It feels weird to say thanks for that, but like, I don't know if it's like, I almost feel like it wasn't even like a choice. It's just like, I need to like talk about my shit and like go public with this.
Yeah.
Cause I kept everything I kept everything to myself for so long, like all my life. And then I just exploded. Like it wasn't possible to keep it in anymore. And I know that for most people it would be like, okay, well, I'm going to tell a close friend. But for me, it was just like, well, I'm going to tell the fucking internet. And all my close friends.
Yeah. And what does your family think about this, your podcast?
Oh, my God. Ugh. I had my mom on an episode, so she knows kind of what it's about, but I don't think they've ever listened to it. My oldest sister, I think, has listened to a couple episodes because she started dealing with some depression, so she's like kind of gets it now.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I don't think my parents don't understand what a podcast is, and I don't think, like, they just don't get it.
But do you think that's better in a way?
You know what? There's part of me that like wants them to be like, "Hey, good job, Kai."
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't want them to listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I don't want you to hear.
There are definitely times where I'm like, I've said some stuff about my dad that I'm like not stoked on. Like, I don't think I've ever shit talked him, but like, I'm pretty open about how like traumatized I am by him. And there is part of me that feels bad for like telling strangers that and kind of behind his back, but at the same time, it's like it's me dealing with my shit, and it's not. I don't know. It's confusing in that way.
Right. Okay. And so you started this podcast 2 years ago, and roughly 2 years ago, I believe. And I think I read somewhere that you were listening to podcasts in your room or something. You moved back into your parents' house. Was that right, or am I completely wrong?
I mean, I have moved back into my parents' house. That's where I am right now. But no, at the time when I started it, I was, let's see, I started it May 2016.
Okay.
And like, are you interested in like where I was when or what do you?
Yeah, because you were struggling with addiction at that point, I believe. Cocaine addiction?
No.
No, okay, I'm way off.
When I started it, I was sober. And I've been sober for about 2 years.
That's great.
And then maybe like 6 months into the podcast, then I like slipped, and then 6 months after that, then I started using like cocaine and drinking again.
Okay. And you're sober right now?
I don't really call myself sober anymore, but I don't use that stuff anymore.
Hella expensive, isn't it? Hello?
Hey. Sorry.
Oh, hey, sorry. No, it's an expensive habit.
Oh my God. Yeah. How did I don't know. Ugh.
Well, a lot of people do it, and I'm like, damn, how can you afford that? Like, that's definitely a classy / non-classy habit.
Is fucked. Like, it's so expensive, and it feels good for like a little bit. And
yeah.
It's like absolutely hell.
I know.
It's the fucking worst. Like,
I've tried it before too. It's like you can't sleep, you can't eat, you feel like shit. You actually feel like shit about yourself as a person. You feel depressed.
Yeah.
Especially more difficult when you have like mental illness struggles. And but when you're on it, I mean, it's a good solid 10-20 minutes. So
I would say that I feel like I was always using it to like fuel my creativity, quote unquote, and like me eye rolling myself after saying that. But like I would just like stay up all night and like make music, and then I would like run out of cocaine at like 7 or 8 a.m. and then people would be going to work, and I'd be like losing my mind because it like at about like 2 a.m. then it starts getting bad, and
yeah.
like just doing lines to try and make yourself feel better, even though you know it's not going to.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then you feel like sort of an outcast with the rest of the world.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Just like lying in bed for like 6 hours, like waiting for you to not feel like you're in hell.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
I don't miss that, and I don't miss drinking either. Like my hangovers are so bad that like I can't drink. Like I can, but the hangovers are so crippling that like I just can't do it anymore. Like even if I did enjoy it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, like it's good that you can step away from that because of the hangovers. It's awesome. A lot of people can't. I just continue to keep up with that. So
Yeah, okay, but like, wait, how old are you?
Oh my God, how old am I? I'm 27.
You're 27. Okay. For a second, I was like, maybe she's 21. I don't know.
No.
I was say like maybe.
I've been there, done that, been through it all.
Yeah.
Lots of struggles, eating disorders, everything. You know.
Yeah, you had a good list of things.
Oh, that was only a fraction. So.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't talk about it a whole lot, but when I do, it's sort of shocking. It's like you admit it to yourself and you're admitting it to others, and it's actually quite a nice feeling in a way. So you get something off your shoulders.
Well, that's cool that you have been able to do that though. Like
barely.
Most people will never talk about those things, you know?
Yeah, and they just listen to you.
Or not even. Like I think there's honestly like most of my friends don't listen to my podcast because there's just it's hard to like talk about that stuff. Like this person I used to play in a band with, like when I was in my early 20s, it's like, yeah, my girlfriend loves your podcast. And like, you know me, I can't talk about my feelings. I'm like, yeah, you and every other man in the world.
Yeah, for God's sake. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Okay, so you said that you don't know where your podcast is headed right now. That you might take
Do you know where it's headed?
Yes, I hope you keep up with it, but that's very selfish of me.
No, I think I will. Honestly, I'm just like, yeah, I think just in life, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I just feel so lost.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. So
I'll
keep doing it, but I just don't know if, I don't know. I feel like for a long time I kept doing it because like, okay, well, when I get my numbers up to like, you know, like 50,000 American downloads a month, then I can get advertising, and then I can like, then I'll be able to like pay for, or like be able to do it more full time. But like, that's exhausting. And it's like, I feel like I'm in like the rat race when I'm doing that, like just like trying to get as many people to listen to it as possible. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, especially when it's such a sensitive subject.
Exactly, yeah. And like, I don't know. I don't want to be this American life. I don't want to be like...
Yeah. Do you ever feel like there's a fine line between discussing mental illness or challenges that you feel like you could do it without exploiting it? Sorry, I don't know if that was worded correctly. Do you ever feel like you're exploiting sort of people by discussing their mental illness? Or is there a fine line between that and discussing it and sharing it?
I would say no, but I feel like for the Patreon stuff, like when I'm asking my friends to do it, then I feel bad. Like I'm gonna interview someone that's done a podcast episode with me, like in the very beginning. I'm gonna interview her later today, and she was like one of my best friends for a long time, and I want to catch up with her and also like talk about what happened. And like that definitely feels exploitive, like, and I'm exploiting it for like my own purposes, but at the same time it's like people get a lot out of hearing those things. Like I've interviewed my ex, and I interviewed my mom. Like I think that being able to eavesdrop on those like really like kind of intense, like meaningful conversations is pretty amazing. I find like I love hearing that when other people talk about that. Like, so yeah, it is exploitive, and it's also like I feel okay about it most of the time.
Yes, because you're helping people at the same time.
Yeah, and also like I would never like there's been a lot of episodes that I've recorded with people that they felt really they haven't felt good about afterwards, and they're like, yeah, you know what, I'd feel better if we didn't release that. And so like, yeah, they're just sitting on my computer and they'll never go out into the world, and they're like amazing, but at the same time it's like, if that person's not okay with it, then I can't put it out into the world. Like,
absolutely.
And I would never do that.
Right.
Yeah. So like I'm very respectful of like the people will always write to me and be like, oh my God, you should have like this person on, like they're so fucked up. And I'm like, I'm not gonna reach out to someone. Like, if someone's not gung-ho about, like, being on the podcast, there's no way I'm gonna ask them to do it.
Right.
I have no desire to have people on that are, like, so about sharing their story. Like, because I know that it's really hard to do, and I feel like there's only certain people that can do it, or that are in a place where they can do it and, like, feel okay doing that. And so I think that's why I like doing anonymous episodes, and I've done a bunch of those.
Yes.
I like that for that reason.
Yeah, so you don't feel like you're being exploitative.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, cool. And
Do you think I'm being exploitive?
I don't think so. No, I think that it's really cool what you do. I completely respect it, and I don't think so. It was just a question that came to my mind.
but it is kind of, right? Like,
no, if someone agrees to do it,
yeah,
then I would say no.
I guess maybe if I was making money off it, then it'd be a whole different story.
Even then, though, if they agree to do it and it's for the benefit of people, and mental health, I don't know. That's why it's such a tough question to answer. I don't know the answer myself. So,
all right. Well, when you figure out the answer, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll give you a call. So, were you born and raised in Victoria?
I was born in Calgary, but I've been in Victoria since I was 1.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So basically,
my dad lives there, so I've been around there. It's a nice place. I like it.
Yeah. How long has he lived here for?
Oh, like 10 years. Yeah. Oak Bay.
Oak Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all the rich old people are.
Exactly. I know. It's nice though. I mean, like, there's that beach. I like it. So.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
My ex lived in Langford. That was not nice. Sorry if you live in Langford.
No, I hate Langford.
Yeah, it sucked. Whereabouts are you?
Right now I'm staying with my parents, and we're just in the boonies.
Oh, okay.
The town I grew up in is very, very small and very redneck, which is weird because it's like West Coast. You don't think that it's redneck, but like it is, and it's weird, and I feel so uncomfortable here. But it's also like my parents' house is a safe place, so it feels okay in that way.
Yeah, I feel like Victoria has a pretty unique scene in terms of culture and music, and probably other things that I don't know about, art as well.
It's a very strange place. Like, I don't know, I think it's so weird growing up on an island. Like, it's so normal to me, but at the same time, when I think outside of, like, because I was really, really, really into music for most of my 20s, and like, there's so many bands that just wouldn't come to Victoria because, you know, you gotta, like, get on a ferry. Like,
right.
So it's a very insular community, and there are so many bands, and there are so many people making music that, like, it's a really, like, close-knit, incestuous, strange place. But then also at the same time, every creative person in their 20s moves to Montreal or Toronto or Vancouver because they want something more. Mm-hmm. And, like, especially, like, queer people, like, there's barely any gays in their 20s here because, like, there's no gays in their 20s, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like for most of my 20s I was thinking about moving, but I'm also, like, such a sensitive person that I, like, can't live in a big city, and I always feel like I should, but then I really can't do it. Like, it's so overstimulating for me.
Yeah, it is. And I live right now in downtown Vancouver, and I have serious social anxiety, and it's
Where did you
tough.
grow up?
North Vancouver.
Okay, yeah, that's much quieter.
Yeah, but it's pretty close to downtown. And then I lived in Tokyo as well for a while, so that was like, whoa.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was tough for the social anxiety as well. However, hardly anybody spoke English, so that was convenient.
Were you teaching English?
I was, yes. Yeah.
That's cool. I always kind of wanted to do that, but I'm scared.
It's pretty scary, honestly. It's scary. It's a
Are you
scary
glad
thing.
you did it, though?
Yes, I am glad I did it, but it was not something that I would do again. And
really?
Probably not something I'd recommend to a lot of people without doing their research. I kind of just jump into things like, oh, I'm going to move to Japan because I want to move to Japan. And I didn't save up anything. And I just, I booked a flight and I went and I moved there and I was broke. Like it was pretty horrible. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was drinking like a bottle of wine every night and by myself, and I was stuck in this like 200 square foot apartment with a pet hedgehog named Sonic, and like that was all I had.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was really hard, and like just the whole culture shock of, you know, teaching in Japan and how you have to treat the kids or how they expect you to do that. It's very different from what I'm used to in this soft West Coast lifestyle.
Right.
They're very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard on the kids.
My mom lived in Japan for a few years when she was in her 20s and doing the same thing, teaching English. And like, I feel like all of her Japanese friends would come stay with us when we were younger. And like, I just got like a little glimpse into the world, and it just seems like just exhausting. Like everyone has to work so hard.
So hard. Like if you take a nap at your desk and your boss sees you, it's a good thing. It means that you're working too hard.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so some people will fake naps.
That's like, I think that like lawyers are in that kind of world in North America where it's just like, work yourself to death.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep, basically. It's pretty intense.
I don't understand workaholics. Like, and maybe I do actually. I actually do understand it, but I also like just I don't. My dad is a workaholic, so I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I'm like a lazy worker. But not a lazy worker. Like when I work, I'm working, but it's like, you know, I'm definitely not a workaholic. Don't have time for that.
Do you deal with depression?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It's on and off.
Makes it hard, hey?
Oh, it's debilitating, honestly. It's like sometimes I'm up and I'm doing my thing and I'm thinking, how the hell am I a functioning adult? Like, how is this possible? Am I a functioning adult? I don't know. I don't feel like it. I feel like sometimes I feel like a child trapped in a 27-year-old's body.
Oh God, I feel you.
Yeah, and it's like, how do I have an apartment? I barely do, but I split it with my boyfriend who has like a very stable head on his shoulders. We're like the complete opposite people, which is actually kind of
that's amazing.
It's good. Like it's like really, it's really nice actually for me. So
jealous.
So yeah, I don't know. It's tough, like for myself to get up and to go to work, and I've struggled with that. Sometimes I'm late and it's like I don't want to be there, mostly because I don't feel passionate about my job right now. But
right. Are you going back to school because you want to get into journalism, or are you already in journalism?
Oh, I'm actually not working in journalism right now. I'm working in HR, and it's just like not for me. Right. It's like not my jam. I have a degree in political science, which is like basically like political silence. It's nothing. Another arts degree, but I
haven't heard that one before. That's good.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to work in a field that's interesting, something that I can mentally benefit from as well as help others. And I'm sure you feel the same way as you're doing what you do.
Yeah, I totally feel you.
Yeah.
Honestly, never thought about going to journalism school. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like, what's your end goal? Like, what do you want to do?
I have no idea. No idea. Honestly, I'm completely open at this point. I've never really had an end goal, except for when I was a kid. I wanted to be a lawyer, but hell no, not now. So I do like to share stories, and I want to get into topics that not a lot of people get into. Like, I watch documentaries on the most weird, bizarre subjects that you'd never even think to look up.
Can you give me 3 of your favorites?
Documentaries?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm really into, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Louis.
Oh, Louis Theroux.
Thank you. Okay. I always say it wrong. But I like My Scientology movie. I just watched that one. That was really good. I
was just looking at that on Netflix earlier this morning, like, I should watch that.
Yeah, no, that was really good. And I have to look at my list. I don't know. I've seen so many. I don't know the titles of them, but yeah.
Okay, well, you can get back to me on that.
Yeah, no, there's more like, I mean, they're not all Netflix documentaries. I just go on the internet onto like top documentary films, and I like type in a word, like a keyword, and then I'll click on it. So I don't always know the actual title of it, but
That's funny. I've never really messed around with that stuff, but my friend C does that, and she'll always like send me some weird like YouTube clip of like the most obscure documentary.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's funny.
No, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So, are you interested in like telling other people's stories, like sharing people's stories, or are you kind of like, do you want your voice in your journalism?
I'm still not too sure. I mean, I would like to, in the end, be able to share my story, but it's something that I'm not totally confident with, like the idea at this point, which I think is pretty understandable because it's super sensitive and vulnerable, as you know. But I think I would like to share other people's story. Oh, it just came to my head. Another documentary that is on Netflix that I liked is it's a docu-series. It's by Reggie Yates.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's for BBC. And there's one where he goes into some African country and he is looking at this he's a pastor, I believe, and it's just like such a sham of a church, basically. Like this guy sells Vaseline with his picture on it, and women throw their underwear at him.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just like the most bizarre church, but like people love it. Like people are crazy about it. And this pastor or whatever he is, he drives like a bunch of fancy cars, and that's what he does with the money. So
weird.
Yeah,
so
it's super weird.
It's a series about this guy, or
no, I mean it's always a different story. So one of them is about like Russian models and just bizarre topics. But
do you know what it's called?
It's Reggie Yates something.
Oh, it's Reggie Yates. Okay.
Yeah, Reggie Yates like Uncovered or something like that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. Yeah, so I think that pretty much covers it for me. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Not really. I don't know. What's your angle on this? Like, what are you trying to do?
Well, what I wanted to do was write a profile.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know, I'm going to kind of make it my own.
A profile on...
You.
On me as a person?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, I have a couple more questions. How old are you, if that's okay?
63.
Excellent. 36?
I'm 32.
32, cool. All right. And, yeah, if there's anything else that I have to ask you, is it okay if I get in touch?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time.
But did you get what you want? Like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
I have a ton of content, so thank you.
I've done interviews, or I've definitely done interviews, but like I haven't done one in a really long time, so it's like it's kind of fun to like
be the one interviewed.
It's so goofy to be like, let me tell you about me. But it also is like kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I mean like it's my first interview, so I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Like I had questions written down, but I didn't even look at them.
This is your first one?
Yeah.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I know I'm probably like
That's
screwed it up
monumental.
left, right, and center, but we'll see. Yeah.
I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to interview people, but I think the more you do it, you just you figure it out. And I think when you realize that like no one really knows what the fuck they're doing.
True.
If you just fake it, people think that you're professional.
Yeah, no, that's completely true. I like that. Thank you. I'm going to remember that for the next time. I'll fake it till you make it. I totally know what I'm doing.
You do.
Yeah.
Actually, that too. Like, you are probably a lot better than you give yourself credit for. I find that for myself. Like,
yeah.
I do know a lot more than I even think I know. So, like, sometimes I think, like, for myself, I just gotta, like, trust that I'll be okay. I think that's why I like people that do improv. Like, I've never done improv, but I love that because you have nothing prepared. You're just like in the moment. I'll figure it out. Like, I love that.
Yeah, it can be really fun.
And that's how I do my podcast. Is like sometimes I'll write down a question or two beforehand, but like not really. Like I don't know. I like just having a conversation with people.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's refreshing.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. It's really refreshing to be able to do that. that's where I think like podcasts and documentaries can be very different from writing a profile about somebody, which I have to sort of learn the difference of between.
Right.
So
you kind of have to do all the like, kind of like businessy, like, or like, wow, what do people use profiles for?
Just, you know, like you could write a profile about someone really interesting and then send it to the Georgia Straight. They would publish it. If you want, I could write a profile, and if you like it, I could try. You know, get your name out there.
Let's get ourselves in the Georgia Straight.
Hell yeah, let's do it. But yeah, that's what it's for. Like, so when you read features, I guess, in magazines or online or in the paper, it's just for that.
That's so funny. Like, I asked that question, and then I'm like, that's what, like, magazines and papers are.
Exactly. It's like they're all features. But it's hard for me because I'm, like, so wary of making people feel like they're being exploited. My aunt is actually a journalist. Like, she's very successful at it and very good at it. And I asked her about that, and she said, you know what? She said, everybody gains something from it.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're sharing a story, you're getting someone's story out there. If it's for someone's business or podcast or whatever, at least you're getting their name out there.
Yeah.
So, but you have to just make sure that you talk to people before you like go out and share their story or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of gray area in journalism.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's almost all gray area.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, you're sharing someone else's thing as if like you. I don't know. It's a really weird thing.
It is, and it scares the hell out of me. But I think it's vital.
I feel like it should, though. Like, that's probably a good thing.
It is a good thing, and I think journalism is absolutely necessary. We have to have it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, may as well be one of the better journalists and get it out there and not be like a TMZ writer.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, if you want to be a TMZ writer, all the power to you.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you love that celebrity gossip, right?
Oh, God,
do it.
Live for it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to ask me, or?
Am I gonna be okay?
Sorry, are you? Yes. I honestly, I think you are more successful than you realize you are. Just as you said, like what you said to me earlier. It's like, I mean, it's such a struggle. Like, sometimes you'll be wondering who you are, and you'll say, like, I know I'm funny and I know I'm smart, but you just, like, don't believe it. It's like you put yourself down. But one of the strategies I've tried is, like, I have sort of, like, my inner bully, and I named her/him, I don't know, Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah, so whenever I'm saying to myself, oh yeah, like you're not funny, or you're not going anywhere, like you're not successful, you can't ever be a good journalist, I'll say like, shut up, Herbert, like you're a dick.
Oh my God, I love that.
And honestly, like it works for me. Like it does. I like picture, you have to pick like a silly name. So like that's why I have Herbert, and I'm like, shut up, like you're a joke, like. And then Herbert's like, oh, yeah, I guess so, and, like, shuts up. And, like, honestly, like, it's the weirdest thing, but it's a way to, you know, remind yourself, holy shit, you're actually bullying yourself.
Yeah.
You have to get out of that. And it's so hard because you're fighting with your own mind.
Yeah.
So, try it out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is something that my friend always asks this. She does interviews. In times that you felt like so overwhelmed and like so defeated that you wanted to just kind of quit something or everything, in those moments, like what keeps you going?
I would say my family, just knowing that I have people that, like, even if I don't feel like it at the time, love me and care about me, and that's what it is for me. And I'm lucky enough to have that in my life, whereas others don't. But that's what I know I have when I'm down, is I try to practice gratitude, which can be like really hard when you're struggling at times, like positivity. Ugh. But yeah. I just, I remind myself, like, this is happening. This is how I feel. This is not who I am. How I feel is not who I am. And you have people who love you, as cheesy as it sounds, you do. And just keep that in the back of your mind and, be grateful for it. And You know, it doesn't help. Like, I don't feel better. But it's like, I would say that's the thing that, like, keeps me sane.
Yeah.
Keeps me alive. And I try to go to the gym. I mean, I used to be a lot more active, I guess. But that's my release. Like, that's what I have to do. Like, for my mental state. Like, I have to go to the gym. If I don't, even if I don't feel like it, like, I'm going to go nuts.
Yeah, I feel you.
That started when I was young, though. So it became, like, a big habit.
It's been, like, maybe, like, 2 weeks since I've been out. I don't know, like, a week and a half since I've been at my parents' place. And so, like, I'm in the boonies now, and I don't know where a gym is. So, like, I haven't gone to a gym for that while. And, like, it legitimately does affect my mental health. Like, I do feel better when I go to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, not even the gym, just, like, get out and, like, sweat for, like, half an hour.
Absolutely. It's like you feel like you're fighting your demons.
Oh,
physically.
100%.
Yeah. Those endorphins, though.
Yeah, like, legit, it really does feel like you're, like, I'm fighting them. Like, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, that's, like, sometimes I'll, like, be, like, really upset about something, like, really angry or depressed, like, super depressed, actually. That's the best time to go, and I'll get on that elliptical, and I'll just go, like, ah, and I'll go ham, and I'll go super hard, and it's actually working. I feel like I'm fighting my demons, because I am.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, totally, you are.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, next time you go, think about that. Just pretend like every time you move your arms, you're punching out those demons. Oh, yes, sorry, one thing. You had a suicide attempt. Is that correct? So awkward to just, like, throw that in there.
I've had multiple.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just one particular.
The reason I'm at my parents' house is because I tried to kill myself, like, a week and a half ago.
Oh, my goodness. I'm happy you're here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a struggle. I legitimately don't know why I keep going. That's why I always ask people, like, why do you keep going? Because I just feel like when I'm hopeless, I don't understand why I'm still here, you know?
Was my answer good?
Yeah.
Did it help? Okay. I mean, yeah. Try the weird bully thing.
Sometimes it is just as simple as, like, I don't know, I want to, like, give my mom a hug, you know? Like, that's a good reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But try that bully thing, you know, your inner bully. Give it a name, like Felicia or something. Watermelon Drea. I don't know. And you knock that bitch down. I don't know someone named Watermelon Drea. I don't. I wish I did, though. We'd be pretty close, I think.
Really good. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful for life. Yeah. As satirically and truthfully as possible.
Do you do family stuff for Thanksgiving?
I did, yes, yesterday. I mean, it's really casual with my family. They're pretty chill. Like I said, like, I'm pretty lucky for that. We're all, like, sort of the same person in a lot of ways. Like, once again, really lucky for that. We all, like, love Seinfeld and wine and just, like, chilling and laughing. So we're all pretty easygoing folk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I mean, except for my father, but that's a different story. So.
Right, because he's in Oak Bay and is he okay?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. He does his thing.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, we talk. But I mean, like, that's like, you know, just like a whole different story.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't really consider him to be, like, my family. So, like, the people I connect with are, like, I'm really grateful to have them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And family doesn't have to be just, like, your blood.
Yeah.
Like, it's those people that you can talk to and the people that you know love you and you can share anything with and know that they won't judge you.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, yeah, those keep me going. I mean, they keep me going. They're not those. They keep me going.
What's that?
I said those keep me going. I meant to say they keep me going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can speak English. I swear.
I can.
I speak English good.
One of my favorite podcasts, like, it's just, like, the most absurd, ridiculous podcast ever, and, like, they just they speak words incorrectly just to like make fun of things, and it's actually like starting to seep into my brain where like I think I'm starting to pronounce words wrong.
Really? What's it called?
It's called. I can't share my podcasts with people because they're like if I tell someone about them and they don't like it, then I feel like hurt.
Okay, well, I'm gonna find it. So words incorrectly, I'll find it because that sounds like right up my alley. That's right up my alley. Anything like making fun of grammar, poor grammar. There's this YouTube video I watched the other day, and it's this guy in England, and he has an apostrophizer, which is like this long tool, and he goes around late at night to businesses and fixes their signs where it says like so-and-so's nail apostrophe S, and he'll like use his apostrophizer and reach up and take away the apostrophe.
Oh, he takes them away.
Or adds them.
Oh, to make them correct.
To make them correct, and I'm like, you're my hero.
Wow.
Yeah, it's intense.
That's amazing.
He thinks it's a cause worth pursuing, so.
Yeah, he's like, that's up there with like vigilante, feedy people.
That's pretty crazy, but the more ridiculous, the funnier.
Yeah. I appreciate the absurdity of life. Like, I like laughing at it because it makes no sense.
Honestly, life is hilarious.
It is.
It is.
When I'm not crying, I'm laughing.
Yeah. Do you struggle with bipolar at all?
I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever gotten a proper diagnosis from a psychiatrist, so
right.
I don't know. But
so,
yeah, I definitely like I'm all up and down, so
that could just be depression, though. I don't know. You struggle with depression, anxiety.
Yeah, BPD. I'm like fairly confident. Like, I do have OCD. I just like haven't been diagnosed, but I don't like to throw that one out because I haven't been diagnosed. So like, there's just so many people that would be like, oh my god, I'm so OCD. I have to have my kitchen clean. Which is like, that's so like, it's so shitty to do that because it's a legitimate illness that like people kill themselves because
I know.
they can't.
Yeah.
So I like hesitate to say other things, but like, yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I fucking struggle with everything.
Yeah.
All of it.
I know, it feels like sometimes you're the textbook definition of something and then a million other things that can come with it, but you're not sure what it is or why it's that way or if it comes along with that. So, like,
yeah, I feel like for a long time I was really like, I really cared about the diagnosis and like what words I could put to like describe how my brain works, but like I don't really care as much about that anymore. I just feel like I struggle, and I know the ways that I struggle, and I'm pretty sure it all is a result of like like childhood trauma that I haven't dealt with, or like trauma along the way that I haven't dealt with.
Yeah, and you just kind of put it in the back of your mind and you just let it sit there. And sit. And sit.
Yeah, you just let it sit there until it eventually comes out and you try to kill yourself. Oh, God.
That's brutal. Oh, goodness.
I should be more careful about when I make those jokes.
No, I mean, it's like, I get it. It's like I make jokes about depression in like the most cynical way because I deal with it. So it feels like acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if I say it, it's okay.
Some people very, very uncomfortable, and I understand that. So yeah.
No, I mean, I can make jokes about it, like I said, because I deal with it, and if you deal with it, it feels like acceptable to do that. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm probably doing the wrong thing by making jokes about it myself, but
yeah, there's a fine. I definitely wonder about that because I do laugh at mental illness all the time, but I don't know. There's a fine line between like laughing because it is funny and also like using it as a coping mechanism and like to avoid like having to deal with it.
Yeah, like there's a Reddit thread. I don't know if you use Reddit at all.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, where it's like depression memes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll look at those and I'm just like, I think they're so fantastic, but are they? I don't know. I mean, like, for me, I'll look at them and I'll be like, oh, it gets me, this meme. It's so legit, but it sort of takes away from the severity of it and what depression actually is and how it's so debilitating and really affects people. So, I mean, even though I find it, like, helpful to look at them, makes me laugh, it feels good to look at them. Maybe it's not good for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is different, which is...
And maybe it's not, and maybe it's not, like, binary and black and white. Like, maybe it is good and it's also hurting people, you know? Like,
yeah.
It is good to laugh and it's also, like, kind of messing you up a little bit.
Do you find that with your podcast, that you try to sort of get people to laugh about these weird, per se, subjects?
When people tell me the podcast is funny, that's the highest compliment anyone could ever. Like, if someone tells me I'm funny, like, it's akin to them being like, "You're a good person." Like, I love laughing. Like, basically all the podcasts I listen to are comedy. And,
yeah.
It's because, like, I struggle with happiness and sadness and lack of feelings so much that I value laughter almost more than anything in the world. Like, I kind of want to cry talking about it. Like, there's a couple podcasts that I listen to that, like, legitimately probably have saved my life, and they're not, like, intellectual or like they're fucking absurd.
Yeah.
But because they're absurd, they make me laugh and they make me feel like it's okay to be here.
Oh yeah. Laughter is it when you have like that real genuine like belly laughter, there's nothing that compares to it.
It's the best.
It's honestly the best, and it can be so hard to find that.
Yeah, like, yeah.
That's why I watch Seinfeld on repeat. Just like makes me like
I never got into Seinfeld growing up, so it's like Seinfeld and The Simpsons and X-Files. I feel like those three are like such big cultural references that I miss every single time. Like,
well, I think you should give it a shot. I mean, it's never too late to get into Seinfeld, and like it is freaking hilarious.
I watched the first season earlier in my 20s, and it was funny, but it's still I don't feel like it's the same. Like, when you grow up with it, it's kind of different.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really grow up with it.
You didn't?
I mean, I sort of did, but I didn't like it as a teenager. I didn't get it or something. I don't know. My family would watch it, but I would just like kind of be in the background, like sort of pretending to like it, wanting to like it. And then as soon as I sort of like hit my 20s, I started to get it more. And the humor.
Was there a point where suddenly you were like, oh my god, this show's really funny, and then you told your family and they're like, right? I told you.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. In my early 20s, and I was like obsessed, and I watch it all the time on repeat, and it never stops being so funny because it's a show about nothing. There is no plot. These people are like the most selfish people in the world. They're honestly like horrible people, all of them. They have like no soul, no heart. And it just makes it funny. I don't know what it is, but it's like the perfect comedy.
All right, maybe I need to give it another try. I love Larry David and I love Curb Your Enthusiasm, so like I probably should love it. Right?
Oh, I think so. I think you should probably watch like a later season.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
Can you recommend one?
They're all actually good. I'm not just saying that. Probably season 6 is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I think you should, and you will
There's also,
laugh.
Friends is it? Friends and Gilmore Girls are two shows that like I kind of watched like a couple episodes here and there when I was younger, but then got into them like in my 20s and was obsessed, like fucking.
Oh yeah.
Like the year that or the 6 months that I spent watching all of Friends was just like the happiest.
Right?
A long time.
I know, I had that recently. I mean, I'd watched it too, but then I, like, maybe a year ago, I watched all of the Friends episodes. Like, all of them, and I was so happy. It's hilarious.
I think the first TV series that that you like binge watched, like whether it was like with DVDs or like on your computer?
It was
just like was obsessed with it.
Okay, probably like Sabrina the Teenage Witch when I was 10.
Okay,
but like
you just like marathon it.
Oh yeah, I was obsessed. Okay, actually no, I guess not, because that wasn't on DVD yet. It was on Teletoon.
Because it's a whole different experience when you're just like only this show for X amount of time.
Oh yeah, the first one I binged. 30 Rock, I think.
30 Rock, yeah.
Yeah, I think that
God.
was probably it. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I think I was probably like maybe like 22 or something when I started watching that, and I remember I would just like my friend, my old roommate would be like, he just like kind of laughed at me because he would just hear me like laughing my ass off in my room by myself at like 10 p.m. like every single night. It's like so funny.
It is. It's so funny. It's so well written.
Yeah.
And I also like the Mindy Project. A lot of people hate me for that because they're like, "Oh, Mindy Kaling is."
I love the Mindy Project.
Oh, you do? Oh, good, because my friends make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, she's so annoying, that voice." But I'm like, "But she makes fun of her voice on the show, so it's okay."
New Girl?
Sorry?
Do you like the New Girl?
Oh, you know what? I watched one episode, the first episode, and I found it really annoying because she wouldn't stop singing. But I'm like tempted to give it another chance.
I like both of those shows in the same kind of way, and it's not because of Zooey Deschanel or Mindy Kaling. Like, those are the characters that I dislike the most.
Yeah.
But I love the peripheral characters. Like, I feel like the New Girl is something that I could just like binge watch always, and it would make me feel a little bit better.
Really? Okay, give it a shot then. I will.
I'm not gonna say it's like an amazing show, but if you like the Mindy Project, I feel like you'll.
Well, I mean, like the Mindy Project's not like an incredible show, but I mean,
Exactly.
damn, she's pretty funny. I've read her book as well, and
I keep meaning like I always see it at like the library or like in the bookstores. I'm like, should I read it?
you should actually. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, she's hilarious. She's actually really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, when you read her writing, it's the same as it's very similar to the Mindy Project, and she actually has a good story. Yeah, she had a pretty crazy life, so per se.
Okay, I will give it a shot.
Sweet.
Look at all these things now to consume because of Megan.
Yeah, exactly. The documentaries, the weird stuff.
Seinfeld.
Yeah. And I have to find this weird... But anyway, like, if you hate it, let me know. Because I have to find your podcast.
I'm not going to tell you if I hated it. That seems
it was
very
shit.
unfair and cruel.
No, it's all right. I don't mind. Yeah. What else? Can't think of anything else to ask you. But I know I will. Okay, yeah. As you're my first interview, I'm going to like be writing, and I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot to ask him this. So them, him, she.
It's all right.
He.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
send me an email.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. And if I don't reply to you in like a couple, or like if I haven't replied to you in a day, just send it again, because I'm fucking terrible at communicating. And
Oh, okay.
I'll probably just have missed it.
Oh yeah. No worries. Sounds
Okay.
good. All right.
All right. Well, we're good.
We're good.
We're good. All right.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. It was nice to talk to you.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.